What's going on, everybody? It's me, Hex, going here with yet another new video. So, today we are reviewing Space Jam: A New Legacy. But before we get this video underway, about 50% of you guys are subscribed, so thank you guys so much for all the support. But if you guys want to help my channel grow, please subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have, just hit the like button and watch preferably through this entire video, as the more watch time, the more I get into the algorithm. The more likes, the more I get into it. It's just a long thing, basically, right? So, thank you guys so much for all the support, and yeah. Like I said, we're doing a review on Space Jam: A New Legacy, and let's get right into this. We're going to start out with the goods, and then move to the bads. Let's go! Okay, so for the goods, I'm going to be honest. This movie didn't have much of an upside to watch it for. However, there were some good or decent things about this that I put in the goods. Honestly, most of it not really that good. I'm not gonna lie. But let's start off with the goods here. I found the VFX most of the time pretty solid. As they should be. It's 2021. If the VFX aren't good, there's a problem. I did like the VFX mainly on the characters when they were like the live action Looney Tunes instead of like the animated ones when they were in CGI. They looked pretty decent. Not gonna lie, but the CGI for the villain and like his sidekick and the Goon Squad, all that CGI was terrible. I don't know like what they did, but it was pretty bad. For all of them, but were really good for the Looney Tunes. And I don't know if that was intended, but I hope it wasn't. But it might have been. But yeah, that was a huge issue. Like just straight up, just a terrible issue. So that sucked. So, I enjoyed the kid character. I felt like the kid had good acting and a decent script built around him. Like I felt like he wasn't like super inaccurate at that age, although he programmed a game at 12, which like no kid's doing that. I hate to tell you, especially not a popular one. But outside of that, he felt pretty accurate in the first half. The second half, his character fell apart kinda, and was just like, "Oh, you're an idiot, Dad," blah, 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 and all that shit, right? So that was a problem. But most of his acting pretty good. Whatever. The script, probably the part that ruined that kid. The Toon World or whatever, like where the Looney Tunes lived. That looked pretty good. I liked how it was like hand drawn. I liked how they had the Looney Tunes like style to it. That was pretty cool to me. But that's pretty minor. Like that's something that should be expected. Again, like how good CGI should be expected. I think you have to be able to portray these characters in a good way. So like if you are in their world, you have to show that world off in a good way, which they did. Next up, the comedy. A lot of the vocal comedy isn't that funny. I'm not gonna lie, but I like how they had a lot of the gags from not a lot of the gags, but some gags from like Looney Tunes make appearances, and the Looney Tunes like group when they were being like jokesters, I guess. I don't know what to call them. When they were joking around, their comedy was hit pretty well because that just reminded me of Looney Tunes. I don't know if that's because of nostalgia. I felt like a lot of the comedy in this was based on nostalgia, but either way, who cares? That is something that I found. But it also can be pretty cringe. But yeah. So it's on the border between bad and like good and bad. I'm gonna put it in the good category, but just know that's like teeter-tottering, so it's actually like a 5 out of 10 there. Maybe even worse. I also enjoyed how they had shown off like a good chunk of the Warner Brothers properties. That's again a very minor thing. This is where I'm like literally picking for straws basically on what's like good about this movie. Like there is nothing that was like spectacular in this movie outside of maybe the CG. Also the music. the musical choice was decent. I mean, it could have been better, but whatever. And lastly, they had Daffy say a swear. I mean, it was bleeped, but he said it, so that was pretty cool. That was actually pretty fucking dope, if you ask me. So there weren't too many actual goods, just a lot of mez. But I mean, it was all right. Actually, I have one last thing to talk about on the goods. This is a very minor thing again, like a lot of these are. But I like how they had a Mad Max Fury Road like thing with Wile E. Coyote in it, because that his character completely fits into that. I'm not even going to lie. But yeah, let's head to the bads. So for the bads, let's jump right into this because there's a lot of them, and all the bads are major. Like, unlike the goods, which were a lot of minor goods, the bads are major bads and can outright ruin this film for you. So, to start off, the villain. Terrible fucking villain. He has, like, no motivation. He's essentially bad for the sake of being bad. Again, I hate that. I don't care if this is a kid's film. Even as a kid, I would have fucking hated that villain. Because he is this dick for the sake of being a dick, and is just like, and LeBron James said no to my idea and talk shit. Well, time to kidnap most of the fucking planet. Like, no. What? No. Also, the plot. Fucking atrocious. I'm going to give you a summary of it. It went, from algorithm it starts off, I want to partner with LeBron. LeBron says no. Force him into his Space Jam. LeBron wins. The end. Like, pretty much that's it. You know that LeBron's going to win. You know that this is going to happen. You know that's going to happen. But unlike Space Jam 1 with Michael Jordan, like, obviously we knew he was going to win. That's a given. But at least had a good plot for that movie, or a decent plot. Like, although it was a kid's movie, you could watch that shit and not be like, what am I looking at? Like, what is this plot meant to be? No. This is just like the writers just gave up, essentially. So nothing about it makes any sense. Plus, they forced Big Chungus into the fucking movie. I'm not joking. I have a thing on my Instagram story about it. I did laugh at it, but not for the right reason. It was funny because it was stupid. It was so fucking dumb. But that's why I laughed at it. It wasn't actually funny. It was just stupid. So I had to laugh out of it out of basically spite. Also, I have shit comedic humor. So that definitely doesn't help. Lastly, LeBron, his acting in the first half of the movie was pretty bad. But he just had like no flow to his character whatsoever, and I think that was like a massive part of this movie. Not just his acting, but this whole movie didn't have like any sort of flow to it. Like I said in the plot, it was literally just this to this to this to this to this, and nothing like really made sense. And it was just like, why? It was, in my opinion, this was way fucking worse than Space Jam 1, especially when you look at the bads. Space Jam 1 actually had an interesting story. Obviously, you knew who was going to win, but at least they had like a good villain, right? And at least they had a decent plot. And everything had some level of relevance. But in Space Jam 2, just nothing is relevant. It doesn't matter. Because we know what the stakes, we don't know what the stakes are until it happens, but we also know the result. But even in Space Jam 1, we know the result, but we still are interested, and it keeps you interested by having a steady flow, which this movie didn't. So that's honestly it for the bads. All those bads were like massive, and outright ruined this film. But yeah, let's go to the final review. This movie had felt like a desperate cash grab, and although some aspects of it were like decent, such as the Looney Tunes characters and how their comedy had stuck around, like, you know, with their gags, most of this movie was just overshadowed by a shit plot, a shit villain, meh acting, and just meh CG. Although I put CG in like the goods, it was only good for the Looney Tunes characters. Everything else sucked in it. But yeah, I will say this, however, I did think this was better than I expected, than what I expected it to be. However, that's not saying much, considering I expected this movie to be like, you turn it off halfway through. I'm incredibly good at watching through shit movies, so I don't know how much that's saying, but this movie, nowhere close to the original Space Jam. Like, not even close. The original Space Jam, probably like a 6, maybe 7 out of 10. This movie, well, let me just give you the rating, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the rating for Space Jam A New Legacy, or Space Jam 2, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is a 3.5 out of 10. Holy shit. Okay, it was just so bad. It was just so bad. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this this video. Hopefully it was better than Space Jam 2. I think it was, but hopefully. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like that. Press the like button down below, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you're notified of when I upload. Also, go follow me on all my socials. Link is in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out, everybody. Bye.